I wrote The Golfing Body Mind in 1980. There's a copy of it up there on the shelf. And one question is, well, what was I trying to do with the book? What problems was I trying to solve that weren't talked about in the golfing world back then? And the main issue was I'd been playing competitive amateur golf and going around the circuit in particularly Ireland and Scotland and England. And one of the things that really interested me is, why is it that under the pressure of intense competitive golf, why is it that certain people seem to be able to lift their games to another level and others effectively fall apart? They crumble. And what at the time there was hundreds and hundreds of books on golf and almost nothing on addressing an issue like that. And so what I did was see what can be done. Now, I grew up in India, so one of the things that's very different about Eastern approaches to body and mind is they have a kind of holistic approach. These days everyone has heard of yoga and Tai Chi, and they're part of the mainstream. They weren't back then. And one of the things that's very different in terms of the mental side is that Eastern psychology is very different from Western. Western tends to study those who have mental health problems and find it difficult to cope, whereas Eastern psychology focuses on the healthy and people who are dealing with performance. And the thing about playing sport at a high level, you've got to have got your act together to do anything at a high level. So in many ways, yoga was dealing with the states of mind of a performer, and they have very interesting ways of describing the different states of mind. Now, at the time, Western psychology, there was, particularly in California, some initial studies that were done on what was called altered states of consciousness. And particularly Michael Murphy and places like the Esalen Institute were looking into this. So Murphy wrote a really interesting book called Golf in the Kingdom. And there was two emergent branches of psychology called humanistic and transpersonal. So there was a bit of a coming together of Eastern and Western approaches to states of mind in golf. So what I endeavored to do with the book is to put together some of the key points about what you can do, and obviously things like the breath, which in yoga would be the uniting mechanism, brings together mind and body and spirit. So breathing was another chapter in the book. So and that obviously is a way you can regulate the nervous system. We didn't have that language at the time, but the breath was the mechanism. Rather than telling yourself to relax, the breath was a mechanism that you could affect your physiology. So that was, in a way, the problem that I was trying to solve, or the issue that wasn't being addressed. Now, at the time, I was invited by one of the European Ryder Cup players, Neil Coles, who was a big name at the time, and asked me to present to the Europeans at what's now the BMW at Wentworth. And they were all there. They all seemed very interested in it. And the session that we had went well, but nobody was willing to actually do anything much about it. So it was there was a sort of stigma around the mental side, as if anyone engaged with it had mental health problems. So there wasn't really a business. So in sports psychology, we did set up a little organisation called the Sporting Body Mind, but it wasn't really a business. So I had to go off and do other things. So that was one of the main issues that we were endeavouring to address back then.